Luke Gittoes, thanks for joining me, mate. Do you want to start by telling us a bit about yourself and what sports you're into?
Yeah, definitely. So firstly, thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be a part of this, so appreciate it. So my name's Luke Gittoes. I'm a sports tragic through and through. Diehard Manly Seagulls fan, and then probably goes Seagulls, Swans, and then anything else I can watch on a weekend is a team I'm following. I'll pick one. But yeah, I'm a big sport. I love cage fighting. I'll even watch the Tour de France if it's on. But yeah, definitely rugby league would be my big one.
And you love live sport just as much as you do sport in general. If not, that's what you focus on the most.
Correct, Charlie. Yeah, I'm a member at the Manly Seagulls and also at the Sydney Football Stadium, the SCG. So my winter weekends are spent rugged up with a nice cold beer. There'll be times where I'll go to 3 games on a weekend, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday game, and where that's across all codes. But anything to get me to a game, anything gets me there. So yeah, definitely a big live sports fan. Whether that's lining up at 5 a.m. to get to the test or rolling up to Brookie.
And I suppose you'd attend live sport more than others. How big of an impact is COVID-19 having on you as someone who actually attends venues week in, week out?
Yeah, it's a weird one because when the COVID-19 thing started, I remember there was the ScoMo came out and said on Monday they're going to stop the gatherings because he wanted to go to the Sharks. And so, I tend to agree with him there. So I ducked out to Brookvale. It was pouring the rain and watched Manly Melbourne, just because I knew that I might not get another chance to go to live footy for a while. So, mate, it leaves you with this sinking feeling every weekend. Thursday, Friday, you'd finish work and you'd know that you've got something to look forward to that weekend. You'd get to Brookie, or I'd go a lot of Roosters home games, or the Swans would be playing. And it was just something that it got your mates together. It's just a real good outing for you. I take the missus to the Swans. She wouldn't get out to rugby league, but she'd love the Swans. And it was just one of those things on the weekend. Like, that was what weekends were for, to go out, have a few beers with your mates at the footy, and then, cause a bit of a ruckus afterwards. But it really, I've been finding, like, Monday comes around and you just feel like you haven't done anything, obviously because I haven't left the house, but it was that one thing that was the constant everywhere. I'd always go to the something live on the weekend. And so that's, it's with this COVID-19 stuff, it's weird. Even that last week of footy when there was no crowds on and they had it on TV, it was different. It was different. You felt like, the players didn't get up for it because their friends aren't there, their family aren't there. It's not the same thing without the crowds there, and because the atmosphere that those crowds create. That's why I love getting out there to be a part of it. But yeah, it's a weird one, and yeah, it's just live sport is so different than TV, and it's so strange because everyone always says the best seat is on the couch. With these HD cameras we have, but it's something primal about being out in, especially
not the
rugby
same
league
on
game.
television, is it at all?
No,
especially when there's no crowds, it's even worse.
No, and especially rugby league is such a, Aussie battler type sport. It's, the people that you meet at these games, they make it all just the chat they're coming out with, yelling at the refs and the players, and just talking absolute porridge with their mates on the hill. Like, that's part of rugby league for me. That's what made me fall in love with rugby league. Was that when I was a kid, Dad would take us out to Brookie, and after half time, because they'd open the gates, it'd be free, and we'd go in, and I'd just be awestruck with just excitement and these just. That was really that, like, live sport is what really gave me my love for sport. It wasn't watching on TV. Like, it's something different. It definitely is.
Do you think, crowds have been dropping off in certain sports over the years, and there's definitely more people that are quite different to you and prefer to just sit on the couch because the cost of going to the footy or to the cricket is getting higher and higher. Given you're a bit of a tech head as well, and you see sport as, I guess, a bit of an escape, are you worried about how good that experience could get on television and what that might do to crowds in the future?
Mate, definitely. I know I have the NBA League Pass as well, and they offer one game each week. I think it's one game where you can watch it from courtside seats on virtual reality. I mean, if that that is it is hard to if they perfected that and you are in the best seat of the house and you can do it all from your home, from your home. Yeah, it's a worry because, as you said earlier, these sports aren't the same without crowds there. There's just it feels different. It just there's something missing, and whether that all of a sudden they start on these VR things putting in fake crowd members like it's rugby league video game or something where like it's just. I am worried because I just I'm a bit of a tech head, so I've got a great TV, a great sound system. Because if I can't get to the footy, I love watching it at home, and so I make the experience as pleasant as I can and as best as I can. But it's definitely it definitely is a concern that the way we're going, it could end up that there could be sport played with no people there.
And that's got to change how we as fans will interact with athletes. I mean, at certain times, I think fans struggle to treat athletes as humans with all the online stuff that goes on, and this could only accelerate that.
Oh, that'll accentuate that because it's the classic thing where you guys someone online that starts talking shit to some like a celebrity or an athlete, and when they see them in person, they ask for a photo, and it's like and that person goes back and doesn't talk shit and troll him on the internet because he's met them. They put a human element to it, and they're all good blokes. Whereas, fans are just seeing these people as just things on a screen. Yeah, it'll really change the whole dynamic between the sports fan and the athletes and the clubs as well. And so that's definitely a concern.
What's your prediction for how live sport and this whole thing will play out over the next few months?
Look, I think that we're going to have a whole new generation of germaphobes. These little kids that now wash their hands and wear gloves and masks. They're just going to think that, oh, this is normal. This is how you be safe. They're not going to want to go to these huge gatherings. Well, they've seen what can happen. But then I think that for me, it's not going to affect anything once footy starts to get on back. But definitely this next generation is going to sort of be like, hold on.
If I can do it on my phone, then that's
I've been at home for 3 months and I've been watching all these highlights and all these movies and everything. What's the point of going out there? It's way more expensive. It's time consuming. You leave your house, and so there's definitely it definitely will change a shift. I don't think that it will.
You won't lose the big events.
No, they're still going to fill 85,000 or 80,000 at Homebush for State of Origin, but it's just the Roosters are the Wuhan of the eastern suburbs at the moment with the amount of corona cases they have. But they don't need any other reason not to get out of those games because there's not many people there already. But the COVID, it's going to definitely shift the public's view of those huge gatherings, especially on the hill at Brookvale when there's on a big game, you've got 4 people touching you at all time. You can't really get away with it. So I think that it's going to be. It won't immediately when it comes back. I think crowds will be up because people will be so keen to get out there and watch it. But I do think you will then go back to that trend of a decline in
I mean,
attendance.
you're a millennial, but you're also sort of in tune with that older generation. I sort of worry that we could be the last breed of these tragic sports fans who still really like getting out to the game.
Well, definitely with what's happening now, where you can with these Optus Sport and NBA League Pass, you're not confined to the Aussie sports. At that time slot, you can watch anything whenever you want. And so it's such an oversaturation in the sporting world at the moment with so many, with the UFC is huge now, huge. And so it's just another thing to compete with. And so, I definitely think that, there's, especially with pop culture as well, pop culture tends to lean itself to the NBA, the NFL, those American sports, and all these young kids in Australia growing up idolizing these LeBron Jameses, whereas the local, rugby league or the A League or the AFL, it definitely could get left behind by this younger generation. And so I mean, whether my kid's going to like it or not, they'll be at Brookvale with me watching Manly play. Yeah. But, whether, yeah, I think that, you could be right, Charlie. We could definitely be the last real diehard sports fan generation.
And you're a member of the SCG and other football clubs. You'll be keeping your membership. Are you siding with Eddie Maguire's argument?
I'll definitely be keeping my membership. The trust, I'm not as concerned as my membership with the Manly Seagulls. That's one of the things where if they needed to, I'd fork out everything I had in my pocket to try and keep that club alive. And so, they can get a membership. They can send an email, I'll go down there and sell some sausages or whatever they need me to do. But, I'd definitely be agreeing with Eddie Maguire. Well, I don't, it's not the members don't really keep the clubs alive. It's a television deal. And so, that was a little bit of a plea from Eddie Maguire to keep the money coming in from those members. But, I'll definitely be keeping my membership.
I mean, we could see a few sports or clubs potentially fold out of this whole thing. Rugby's likely first.
Rugby union's gone, man. They were having enough trouble as it is, and then this couldn't have come at a worse time. I mean,
no broadcast deal.
No one wants to watch it, and then they come out with those NRCs, and it's just. Yeah, bad time for them because they were already in a tough spot with that Israel Folau stuff, and then this is gone. Yeah, this will knock them over. People will still watch the Bledisloe. People will still watch the World Cup, but you're not getting anyone to rock up. I mean, not that anyone went to a Tars game before, but I mean now
something's got to give. We don't have enough people in Australia, and there's just too many sporting teams.
No, and especially Australia, soccer. Even when we were kids, soccer was
the A Leagues.
It was the back seat one. Everyone wanted to play footy. Everyone wanted to play AFL or rugby, and now there's kids. They're all playing soccer. They're all playing FIFA at home, and they want to play soccer. On Saturday, and so. Especially, it's going to be, these clubs are going to struggle, and I'm very nervous because Manly's going to be on that. And whether the Pens fork out some more money, they're already putting $1 million a year, I think, to the club. Look, I think no matter clubs will fold, and I think that the competitions will definitely stay. But it's just. I don't know if you saw, but Wimbledon added a clause into their insurance for a
200 mil.
200 mil payout. I mean, why? How can our games not have this incorporated into their insurance? It's baffling.
I mean, some will to a certain extent, but it's challenging when the one thing which you earn money from is dried up, like most businesses. Anyway, what are you looking forward to getting back to the most?
Look, as I said, I think that when rugby league gets back, there's something like 9 games a weekend. How many? There's a lot of footy on, and it gives you that mental break from work, and it gives you that something to look forward to on a Wednesday when you're slugging away, and getting out there live is just seeing your friends. That's how I see my friends. We go to the footy. That's what I'm most looking forward to. Brookvale, sunny afternoon on a Sunday, watching Manly get smashed by Melbourne or the Roosters, because it seems to always happen at Brookvale. But maybe I should get out to the Titans game and see us get a win. But no, definitely looking forward to getting back out there and watching some live sport.
I'm praying with you as well, mate, and hope we get back out there soon. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, Shai. Thanks for having me.